Hi everyone, welcome to Beautiful Alchemy, Gems for the Soul. Do you know what the great scientist Albert Einstein said about problems? He said, "We cannot solve our problems with the same level of thinking that created them." In my humble opinion, this means that it's impossible to find solutions for a problem with the same level of consciousness in which we see that thing as being a problem. Whenever a new problem comes up or an old problem exists, we can deal with it in two ways. The first option is to accept the problem and say, okay, so this is my life now and I can't solve it. And so you stay with the problem, cry over it and literally wallow in the problem. You moan and complain to other people about it. Oh, life is so unfair. And that just becomes the story of your life forever and ever. Amen. Now, the second way of dealing with the so-called problem is by looking at it from a different perspective. The only time we ever truly transcend a problem is when we get a fresh, new perspective about it. If we're able to step back and look at the problem from a totally different perspective, it becomes easier to find a solution. Dr. Wayne Dyer has a quote that says, "When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change." Now, this is not just a play on words here. It means in whatever situation we're facing, we need to move up to a new level of consciousness, a new way of thinking, to see the problem from a whole new point of view, where it no longer appears as a problem and we can find answers and solutions to them. There is no problem that exists that doesn't have a solution. Our state of mind is what helps us to figure out the solution. Imagine a glass elevator on the side of a tall building. The view from each floor is different, and the higher up you go, the bigger and broader your view. The same thing applies to our consciousness. The higher we go, and the more expanded our mindset, the more perspective we have. And something that looked like an overwhelming problem at a lower level doesn't look that scary anymore and is no longer relevant. This is the perspective from a much more holistic, bigger picture point of view, and it allows you to see all the connections to things that you otherwise normally wouldn't. One useful way you can change your perspective on any problem you might be facing is to reframe the problems into opportunities. Opportunities to learn, opportunities to grow, opportunities to expand and succeed. There's a wonderful quote by the writer David Icke that says, "Life constantly presents the greatest opportunity, brilliantly disguised as the biggest disaster." And this is so true when you look back in hindsight and discover that some disastrous problem you may have had in the past was actually a blessing in disguise. Have you ever had that experience before? I know I have. Over time, I've discovered that those so-called problems are actually God's way or the universe's way of saying, hey, I know you have something greater inside you. You need to come out of your comfort zone so that you can be greater and more of yourself. And this right here will challenge you to flex your inner muscles and become something greater. And you usually find that you are better off on the other side than you were before that challenging situation. And you know you are stronger and wiser as a result of it. And you're now in a position to give advice to someone else who may be going through something similar. Reframing of problems is an excellent tool to help us shift our focus from problems to possibilities. It's so easy to get overwhelmed when you're juggling your career, your relationship, health, etc. But by using this reframing strategy of turning problems into opportunities, we are able to take a moment and ask, what can I learn from this situation? Is there a silver lining to this cloud or problem in my life? What is this really here to teach me anyway? Honestly asking yourself these questions can help you change the way you see and react to problems. Another helpful tool is to think of a specific time when you overcame an adversity or obstacle in your life, and remember the fact that you made it through the challenges before. This will give you more hope and resilience to let you know that yes, you can persevere through whatever you're facing now. So even if you don't know yet how God or the universe will solve the problem, but you know for certain that the solution will come. When you're about to take on some really demanding work or tackle a difficult problem, take a moment to think about how it's going to make someone else's life easier or be of value to someone else. Think of how it will have a positive effect to benefit you or someone you love. This will give you a deeper sense of meaning and help you stay motivated. We can't always control difficult situations in our lives, but we can control the mind that we bring to the situation, and reframing is a simple habit that we can all start practicing today. It's so important to change the way you look at things so that you can make things change in your life. I would really love to know what you think, guys, about changing your perspective on problems. Please share your opinions in the comment section below, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you for